Namaste to one and all there.
Namaste. We have had some technical issues because the area in the Czech Republic where Shobana is staying, there has been an internet outrage and the internet has collapsed. So, as they say, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. So, here we are making lemonade. And what we felt is it would be very wonderful to have a chance where instead of Divya asking all of us the questions, we start asking her the questions. And I'm sure you'll all have a lot of fun with that. I don't know if you will have fun, but they will have fun for sure at your cost. As you all know, tomorrow is the International Day of Yoga, the 6th International Day of Yoga. And that Divya was born on the same day. In fact, she was born much before it became International Day of Yoga. So we can say that she was born much before, and so her birthday became the International Day of Yoga. And it is also the World Day for Music. So when yoga and music come together, that is what basically Divya is giving us. So tomorrow morning, we are going to have a session where Devasena and I will give you a musical dance yoga session. Divya may join in along with her brother. Let us say it's yoga at home with family. And later on, we'll also give you some musical selections on her birthday. But before that, let us start questioning her today. What does she feel like? Okay, fine. You know, you have just completed your 12th standard and results are still awaited. What's going on in your head when you think about that?
Well, I try to keep up a good mood and try not to show too much out, but still when people put posts and memes and our teachers reminding us your results are on the way, I'm like, 1 minute everything I think stops like a heart, brain and nothing works. But I was much more scared once I had finished my exams. But now that I've come over it and I see that everything can turn out good in the end, like it might seem, off, but it will be good in the end. And especially when you think good and everything, so it will be good. So I'm sure that it will turn out the best that is supposed to come to me. I don't expect too much because I did my best and the best will come back to me. As in Yantra, this month is quite an emotional month for me. We saw the calculations, so it's quite an emotional month, but still July is supposed to be something good. So I expect things will be quite good.
Wonderful. I'm sure that in July we'll get the wonderful news that you have done extremely well in your academics, because I have seen the hard work you put in. Hard work definitely pays. And having worked with you during those times, I know how much you worked, and so you deserve it. I just wanted to ask you a question. What has been the role of your party, Ammaji, in shaping you? Because I'm getting so many messages from around the world. Divya is growing into such a wonderful young girl. We are so happy to see how responsible she is. They have seen your talents in many ways, and especially during the COVID-19 lockdown, all the musical events that were going on. Then the Tell Me Appa series, where you were asking me questions, and today's my Get Back at Her Day. And then this beautiful idea of global voices, bringing the worldwide yoga family together. So when we see this, definitely many of them are understanding that Ammaji, your party, has played a very important role. Can you tell us something about that?
Okay, so to mention that role, I can't finish off in just 1 or 2 minutes. It's such a big role, and most of you know it because you must see her through me very much. And many people have just told me that more than being your father and mother, you are Ammaji. So they say small Ammaji or Chinna Ammaji in Tamil. So it's quite cute, and I feel really happy that I can be so well. They believe that I will be as good and maybe even better as Ammaji, and you say that I can turn out much better than all of you, but I have to keep working for that because you have reached such a height. So I have to keep going and going and going. And now I'm learning how things are, and it can be really drastic, and anything can happen. So just like now we were going to get ready, and Shobana was ready, I was ready, and we were getting ready, but suddenly in the last moment, so then we turned it into something else. So, well, coming back to the actual question, when I was born, I remember that like Ammaji, I don't know, well, she had you as a son and she must have been really happy, and now she's so proud of you, I'm very sure. But there would have been a thought like, what if I had a daughter? And I think she has mentioned this to me, and I'm not telling false. It's true that she has mentioned to me. I don't remember when. So she had a light desire to have a girl. So once I was born, more than a grandchild, I was like her girl, not daughter, her girl. So she just wanted me to, really grow. And I remember that she just, wherever she went, she would take me, and she took me to so many places. And on her scooter, man, I think she was the first woman in Pondicherry to drive a scooter. So she would take me in the scooter, and I would be in front, and she would put a cap and cooling glasses, and we all would go to the park. And I don't think there's any amusement park in Tamil Nadu that I haven't gone. Not just the amusement parks, circuses, and every possible thing that would excite me and amuse me. She's given me such a childhood, and I thank her and you for not putting me in school in pre-KG so that I could have 3 nice years and then jump into first standard. And now all my friends have had 15 years of school. I'd had 12 years of school. So I feel quite happy. Like, okay, I'm better than you. And especially when I'm younger than all my classmates, because I have been 1 year ahead of. I should actually be going through my 12th this year, but I've completed 12th, so all that. And she's really helped me in English, because I know very well that me and my brother, we practiced English by our conversations with her and all the students who were here. And with you and Amma, we would talk in Tamil. So in the way, we had both English and Tamil. So that was really good. And from the starting, she made me participate in recitation competitions, speech competitions, handwriting competitions. And I remember we had fruit festivals and vegetables too, where she really helped us, and from the waste materials to make like a zoo out of carrots. So like the camel would be a potato and connect it with a stick. I remember all this so well, and I think I won it. And we had poster competitions, especially in Primrose till my 8th grade. Such a adventure. And we had talent time, talent hunt, Vipanchi, and so many things. And I won the champion in the talent hunt when I was in 5th grade. That is all the way. So that was, I must say that it is her. And in the best youth, best child, like, you were the judge. And being my father, I've seen many other fathers, and just being their uncle or whatever, they just try to bring them up ahead everyone, and they just give them the prize right away. But you have really made me work for it. The best thing in this, at that moment, I was so angry at you. I'm like, 5 years in best youth, okay? The first year I didn't get anything. Well, I got prizes but not a title. Then 3 years I got first runner up. And I was like, I would, like, in the individual I would be so good, but somehow something would happen. And like, you were, I see now that I see that I thank you, because you really made me work harder. And if I got the best youth earlier, it wouldn't have been good. So coming back to it, the best youth and best child competition, she has helped us prepare the speech and every single thing, art design, and such good concepts. And I must say that my entire English talent, I would place it at her feet, because she is truly that. And in school, I've always been my English teacher's pet, both in Primrose and here in Vidya Niketan. And even in my board exams, I've been a topper in English and in school also. And my papers are taken as presentations, because I just see her and she's so good in English, and there's something that's motivating in me. And not just my study part, everything, my character and everything, I would say that my role model and my dream would be to be Amma ji. So that day I was discussing with her. So if I become older, what would people call me? So we were like, Divya ji, no, that's too big. So Diva ji and Diya ji, we were just trying all these things, because, junior Amma ji is nice, but you should have a own identity. And I think it was Shobana who started to call Amma ji, because other people were calling her Amma. And she said that this G really gives such a... It's important. Yeah, it's very important. So she used the term Amma ji. So I would say she has been really great, and I'm so grateful that I had her. Like, I have missed Swamiji, and I'm like, why did he go so early? Like, even now when we do pujas and when I get reminded. I'm like, why did you not see me? You could have stayed, 10 more years and you could have just seen me. But whatever, I see him through you, and I hope it will come through Anandraj, and I think he will turn out much better. So
When you say much better, I get the hint there. No, truly, I think, Ammaji, right from the time you were born, has really been the person guiding you. And we see it, so many people see that cross-generational connection that is there. And even yesterday, one of Ammaji's sisters, she commented on a photo. She said, I can just see, Ammaji in Divya. And not that we are saying you have to be a carbon copy. You are yourself. You are you. But at the same time, there is a continuity. And the amount of effort Ammaji has put into you and Anand Raj is amazing. In fact, I think Devasena and I have been lucky that these very strong seeds, foundational seeds, have been planted in you. And that now those seeds are growing into plants and flowering, and we are seeing it. So it is quite amazing in that way. I was just thinking, you sort of were born dancing when I think about it. And I remember that Devasena was pregnant. I'm not too sure how many months it was, but she was quite pregnant. I remember it was quite visible, in fact. And if it was, I think it was in Villanur, the Shiva temple, where we had a program, and she actually was performing even while she was pregnant into, I think, second trimester, may have been sixth month or something, I don't remember. She was still performing with you inside. And I think this whole idea that just as when Ammaji was pregnant, she was doing the yoga, so I was getting the yoga, that you started to get the dance, the music, even while you were inside your mother Devasena's womb. And I think that has given you such a base that I remember as a young kid, as a young baby, basically, you would not sing, you would not sleep if I didn't sing. And I would have to keep on singing song after song after song after song, and we'll be, at the bed trying to get you to sleep, and three songs, four songs, and then we'll think, okay, she's going to sleep now, and then it's like, hey, and then okay, one more song, the new song, and it was amazing because of that. I remember that when we used to travel around Pondicherry, those days we were doing a lot of performances, and they would be in different hotels or Kalyana Mandapam. When the car would go there, you would be immediately identifying. When we went by Annamalai Hotel, it would be Didite Tam, which meant that the last program we did there, one of the items was Didite Tam. You would identify the place by the dance item. And it was astonishing for us that you knew which way was going to Aisivaya, which way was going to Kamliswami Madam as a very small baby. And then you started just watching people dance, and you were dancing. And at the age of 2, we had that chance here from Mukti, where we actually got an official letter saying to Ammaji, saying, will you please allow your granddaughter Dhivya Priya Bhavanani to give us a performance? An official letter for a 2-year-old kid. And we had to stitch a special costume out of one of the shawls. And the tailor who did it said, I've never stitched a dance costume for a 2-year-old kid. And then so many performances, people can see it on YouTube at the yoga festival. And at the end of that dance, that Ganesha dance was the famous one.
yes.
That Kale Tukiye Adavargira. And at the end of that, running over and jump into Ammaji's lap, and she was so happy, you were so happy, and it was astonishing. So I think you were born into the dance, and Ammaji having danced, myself having danced, Devasena having danced, and then those genes, sort of dancing genes, continued into you with the music. And over the last few years, because of academics, you have not paid much attention to dance. It's been more the music, and I think that has been something very wonderful. So from the music, uh, which has now sort of become your, I think it's your love. You just love it so much. What has been the role of the beautiful Surya Gayatri and Kuldeep Paiji's wonderful series on Vande Guru Parampara? Can you tell us something about that?
Okay, so I remember very well that I think once in one of our dance dramas, it might be like 3 or 4 years ago, I don't remember exactly. Violin sir, Tanigachalam sir, he had told my father that she has quite a future in music. I think it was him, if I'm not
It was.
mistaken.
It was.
And at that time, like I've always sung. Like my guru Jyotir, my ma'am, she has really trained me a lot in music and taught me all these famous songs and everything, and the Geetam and Varnam and so on. But also, like I had such a variety in music because of our dance that we practiced the Jatiswaram and everything. And as we would practice it, the song would be in us, all of us, not just me. So if you ask the kids, sing this Pushpanjali, the kids were able to sing it, even though they weren't singing students of yoga. So, well, I was in the music, but not so much. I would sing sometimes at Sunday Puja and do some concerts, all that in Pondicherry. I think it was in my 11th standard, and Kuldeep Pai, well, we hadn't got to him when he started in 2015, but I'm sure it's like maybe 1.5 or 2 years ago that we happened to cross by a rhyme bhajan called Ganapati, Ganapati, Ganapatiyam Ganapati, and it was sung by Kuldeep Pai ji and Surya Gayatri. So that was quite cute, and that didn't inspire me. I just liked it, and we kind of just learned it and thought of maybe putting a dance in it or whatever. So we went that. Next, we heard the Hanuman Chalisa sang by Surya Gayatri at the age of 9 years, and something in that really inspired me. And every day, even though I had my public exams and revisions and everything in 11th grade, I would listen to it every day in the car. So when my dad would bring me back home, I would be playing it on his phone, and I wouldn't listen to cine songs. Like all my friends in school would speak about the cinema songs and that this program on TV, but I never was interested in it. Like I do know some cine songs because I hear it from my friends and they use it on the status and all that. But I've never been attracted too much to it. So I listened to that Hanuman Chalisa and I just listened. I didn't write it down or anything. And as I was listening, even when I was writing my public exam, I remember very well. I always that line chanted in me. Ashta Siddhi Navanidhi Ke Data,
Beautiful,
that line,
beautiful.
those 4 lines I just love. Even now, that's my favorite four verses from the Hanuman Chalisa. So then we were thinking how to bring in this Hanuman Chalisa. So Ammaji brought in this idea of using it maybe in the annual day. So I would sing it in Sunday Puja, and for the annual day, for the boys' demo, we used it because, they were like young Hanumans,
Monkeys, basically.
monkeys. So we
She
used,
just called them monkeys. Okay, that's what she did.
okay. So we used it for the annual day, and then we had, I think, the visit from the French side, and we had the visit from USA by Laurie and Shana and their group. So we used it, and so that was basically my start. And then I just loved the Hanuman Chalisa so much. I downloaded it on my phone and I would listen to it every single day. Like every day before sleep, I would listen to it, and while coming in the car. So somehow it just perfectly registered in my mind. And then there were more videos coming up, and because of this Hanuman Chalisa, I would say that I began to listen to it more. um, well, on listening to Surya Gayatri, she has such a voice. More than her talent in music, I would say that she has something in her that's really coming out. Not in many others. Like many kids are singing it, but there's something special in her. At such a young age, that 9-year-old kid singing that Hanuman Chalisa, I was really inspired. And I think she's Ananda Raja's age. So I think I'm like 2 years elder to her. But still, like, we were very close. So I thought, like, okay, she's not really a role model, but something to help me to bring into music. And then that helped me. And then slowly I started to listen to your compositions, and I started learning what you were singing. And then slowly I started learning the Vritam, that's the small chant that you sing in the starting before the songs. And I just jumped into it. I don't know how I got it. Like, usually, even if they're singing in a group, they never sing the Vritam. The music teacher sings it and then we sing the song.
Ah.
But I started learning the Vritam and I would search. Like, if it's Brahma Mukate, I would see some great singer who had sung it. So there was like a slokam for Brahma or Vishnu or something, and then I learned it. So then I started to write down with my whole hands, and I still have that two notes, and that's handwritten. And then after that, my 12th standard exams came up. So I started downloading it, but still I use a lot of my hand effort. So I would say, especially Kuldeep Pai, he's really brought in all these kids and wonderful bhajans and all these slokas and everything. Like, I don't see it as another language. I just say, okay, we can do it, and I just go into it. I don't even see that I don't know the language and I can't do it. It's just music. I've never been like, oh, it's so hard. And even when you are singing all these swaras, that's why I'm like, we sang that Sobillu Satta Swara, and that was really a play with all these swaras. So that was, and we have practiced a lot in these.
Seriously, I think when I think about it, because we had this plan that this year we'll be traveling a lot.
Yes.
And we said, okay, fine, after your 12th, we'll take 1 year, you can travel, you can do the 6-month course,
Yes.
This was the idea. And then COVID-19 came along. And in fact, my passport is stuck in Delhi because of applying for a visa. And what it did was it gave us this opportunity. Again, I think Ammaji was like, why don't you be singing? And I still remember you started singing and we were just doing something. And then Devasena said, shouldn't you bring that Mridangam from the city center? And I remember that time we were still in the full lockdown.
Yes.
So I remember one day in the car going to the city center, bringing the Mridangam back with a gas cylinder and the Shruti box. And it has been amazing because we have really, because 2019, I don't think I touched my Mridangam at all, which was at one time my first love. And then through this, the music, the playing for it, I think it's really brought out another very beautiful aspect. Now, of course, because of these interviews daily, we are not doing the music, but this is a different type of music. I was just thinking when you talked about writing it out by hand, this is an amazing skill which is being lost amongst many kids. And basically, in this Bhavanani family, the only person who has decent handwriting is Divya. Ammaji's handwriting, my handwriting, Devasena's and Ananda just don't even talk about it. So, and Swamiji's also was really bad. In fact, I remember in school, what happened was one day Swamiji had written a beautiful letter to me by hand. I couldn't read it. So then when I wrote back to him, I said, Swamiji, it would be nice if I could read your handwriting. And I couldn't read it. And he got so bad at me, he stopped writing to me after that. So Amaji used to type the letters. So I used to get typed letters rather than handwritten. So I think that has been a very unique blessing you have, because your handwriting and your presentation skill. I think one of the things why answer sheets used to be like models for other people to see is that, the way you present it. And that is again being seen here in what is going on. So I think though we haven't been traveling the world, we have the world has come basically to where we are. And people are, enjoying what we would enjoy, and we are enjoying all of you. So I think in that way it is nice. Now, you have been drilling everybody with rapid fire. So I thought, how can I let you escape tonight's session, pre-birthday? Tomorrow, for those who came in late, Divya is 16 going on 17. And before the rapid fire, I just want to ask you to share a little bit about the beautiful role that Tejasvi Uma Kumar from Mumbai has played in this love for the sound of music and the songs.
Okay, so I think Tejasvi was just God has written that she should come this year and the lockdown should happen. So this happened because she came here for this year 6 months, and I'm very grateful that she came this year and not some years before, because it wouldn't have been as it is now. So everything is meant to happen, and from the starting, like Tejasvi was always like, whenever I would sing after my song, I remember very well in the Sunday pujas, she would come up and hug me and say it's so nice to hear it. And then she would tell me, why don't you sing that song and this song, and I'll send you the link. And she was always like, go to the next one, go to the next one, don't stay with the songs that you still know. And I know she loves Hanuman Chalisa, and she would join me every Saturday night when I sang it. So I will do it tonight before I go to bed. So she would join in the Hanuman Chalisa, and well, she likes Sobillu Sattaswara always, and that's she only requested us to sing that recently. So from the starting, she has been quite motivation behind me. Come on, sing it. And she was always at the end. She would surely come up to me and tell that you're singing nicely and do better. And I had my exam, so at that time I wasn't doing so much. And after the lockdown, well, Tejasvi got caught here with us. Well, she was happy to be here, so it's not a complaint for her. So What
we
happened?
got a lot of amazing food. She was amazing.
Yes,
She's an
yes.
amazing cook, so we got a lot of good food. So thanks to the lockdown for that.
So I was on holiday and like I would be at home and she was also here. So then she brought in a lot like the bale puri and all that. She taught me to do it, and I would say cooking. She was the main force, and of course Shanti Akka from ashram here and Ramya Akka. Those two were the ones that were coming every single
So
day.
you're doing,
So
yeah,
Tejasvi
during
was
the
like,
lockdown.
yeah, like Shanti Akka, she's used to some dishes. Tejasvi was like, come on, do some more and let's do this and let's do that. And even from the dried bananas that were almost going to get spoiled, she did like something like a mixture or something. I don't know what it was, and it was so nice. So she came up with everything. She wouldn't waste things. And the dogs, the three adorable bees, Bhumi, Beamy, and Bukas, just loved her, and she loved them. So I've never seen anyone like she thought those three were like her own children, and it was really nice. Like if they wouldn't eat, she would carry them like this, like a baby. And
Spoiled them. They become spoiled brats because of that.
okay, so now back to this. We were in the evenings. We had a lot of good talks because they weren't in hurry for any classes or anything. So we had a lot of talks over dinner. And suddenly, I don't know how this idea popped up, but Tejasvi was just saying that maybe we can watch some movies, and me and my brother and everyone was quite interested. So then Ammaji was like, okay, you have to watch something decent. Okay, so then we came up with some movies. So I think the first one we watched was relating to the zoo, where there's a lion, zebra, and they're so close friends.
Madagascar.
Madagascar. That was the first one that we watched, and next we watched Kung Fu Panda, and those were kind of cute and a little short. Then she said, "You must watch Sound of Music." And I came to know that we had watched Mary Poppins earlier, so it was the same actress. So I was like, okay, maybe we can see it, and we watched it. And from the first second of the movie, I won't say second, from the actual song that started, it was so nice, and it really matched music lovers like me. I was just mad in love with music, and even now, and that really I felt like, okay, this is really nice, and maybe you can learn it, especially do re mi. It was just like sarigama padanisa, and Tejasi was singing like she has watched it a lot. So then we were like, we came up with the idea, maybe we can do some songs together. So then we did the song, so do re mi, and then we did 16 going on 17. And man, she brought it into my life when I was 16 going on 17. I wasn't delayed, or I wasn't, before. So it was perfect for this age, and we all really enjoyed it, and especially the recordings, man. Do Re Mi, I must say, we had quite a trouble because it was five whole, like 5 minutes, 40 seconds, and it took us 2 days to do it, but then the others were quite good. So Tejasvi has really been quite, she's played quite a role in my music, I would say, and of course, cooking, and sometimes she would, some jewels and all that.
You even got Ananda singing. I think that was
Yeah.
the most amazing part. I remember the first time she gave me the recording of Ananda singing that song with her, and I was like, "Is this Ananda?" Because he's like, whenever you say sing, he's like, ah. And amazing. So I think it came at the right moment. This was just the right moment for it to come. But also I was just thinking, so many people have played a role. Many of the students have played a role, especially Shobana, who was to have her global voices today. But amazing, the internet just collapsed across the whole city. But we will have her in July. But Shobana, then Shalini, Vaishnavi, especially those three from the Czech Republic, Vaishnavi and Shalini, students of Shobana. As a young kid, really there was a lot in Nalini Amma.
She was, yeah.
I think Dr. Nalini really, as a baby, such an input. So, right from the childhood, you've had this cosmopolitan input from people from all over the world. And then Kathy, her role that she plays, Lata from Berlin, Jnana Sundari. Actually, most of the people you are interviewing are people who have influenced you and been part of your life. So it is so beautiful that you have had another type of cosmopolitan upbringing. So I think that's really wonderful. Now coming back to the rapid fire. So let's see what I think. It's just going to be what comes in my head right now. Okay. Okay. Here's the first one. Swamiji.
Someone who I haven't seen really, but want to see. as soon as possible.
Kambali Swami,
The bringer of this great tradition and life, new life to all of us.
Yoganjali Natyalayam,
My home,
Anandaraj,
crazy lover. Okay, torture lover.
Tell me Appa,
Something that made me think a lot.
Global Voices,
My getting back to my yoga family.
School,
In it, didn't like it, but now missing it.
International Day of Yoga,
My best birthday present.
COVID-19,
Bringing out something good in me.
Friends,
Good in sometimes, bad in sometimes, but are there for me.
the three adorable bees, Bhumi, Bukash, and Bhimi,
Something that we can cuddle, play with, scold, hit, but they're always there to love you.
Hanuman Chalisa,
My starter in music journey.
music,
My passion, my love.
dance,
My starter in life.
yoga,
Something that balanced my life and many situations.
yantra.
Scary ghost. But I tell you, I love it. Well, I am getting a little scared class by class. I'm like, oh my God, okay, it's true. Like, I'm like, okay, but still, it's true. I know it. And never, misjudge it.
Your mother,
Bring her to the world and my best friend. I never see her as my mother. I always play with her and scold her and
life,
a dream.
Appa,
My eyes.
all of the people watching this program.
Love you all.
I think that's just a wonderful place to end for today. Divya and I tomorrow will be on a webinar. So today was our trial run for that webinar by the Hello My Yoga team. And we will be sharing it. We have shared it also. And it is the first time internationally that Divya is being invited for such an event. And it's wonderful. It's on her birthday. So thank you very much, everyone, for being with us. I hope you have had a wonderful time in this father-daughter conversation on the eve of a 16 going 17 birthday, the eve
17 going on 18 birthday. Completing.
Okay, 16 going on 17. Okay, fine.
Whatever.
Whatever that is. This is the confusion with this. And on the eve of International Day of Yoga and Music Day, wishing you all a wonderful time. And we'll be getting back to you. And Shobana's program will be rescheduled. We'll definitely have her on it later on in the program, most probably in the first week of July. So thank you for being with us and have a wonderful time wherever you are.